Okay.
All right, you let me know when you're filming now.
I'm filming.
Oh. People, I'm gonna need the notes. I'm gonna need these. If you're wondering why I'm on crutches, it's an old war street. It's an old war injury from the streets. You know, hey peeps. You want to be on camera that bad? He's mauling the camera. The camera loves him like me, his bearded mother. Peeps, get out of here. Okay, anyway. Yes, I'm reduced to crutches. You know, I never brought it up in my other videos, and I hid the fact that I need them in most of my videos. But it's an old injury from my old job, from my old workings on the streets. Yeah, an old ass injury from on the street corner. From my old job, if you know what I'm getting at. But anyway, so you could say I'm a veteran. I have a veteran injury too. So anyway. Want a drink? It's double loaded. It's one for me, one for Peebo. Alright, so anyway, this is, yes, gender part. This is the video on proving gender is bullshit part. What are we on now? Part 75,000? Because I keep redoing this? Because I'm not convinced. Whoa. Well, no, now I have it, now I'm prepared. I have everything down word for word where I can just read it from the script, or from the paper itself. Not like last time where it was all... Anyway, so now I have it all. But yeah, no, I didn't like the way it came off. You know, I think last video I lacked that certain swag. That's right, I was, not as secretly gay as I like to be for you fans. Because that's what swag means, That's right, if you got swag. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So anyway, alright. It's really just the ass. The ankle's just... That's so Peebo could jump on and get a ride. Hop on, Peebo! Look at Fluffington.
Fluffington is playing with the string.
Okay, where was I? Where's the part where I actually get to the topic? Well, yeah, so I have everything here this time, so that's good. And the lighting's better. Oh, God. If I have to hear about I think the lighting's okay this time anyway.
The lighting is good.
Yeah. So you can see how fucking my face is melting. So yeah, I'm going to get to the whole, notes on how I'm going to prove finally. Because this video is going to be called, I was trying to say how I was trying to bring it all together. Well, this is going to be how it is coming full circle. It's, okay, racism is programmed into people. You can't be born racist. We know this as fact. So that way we can say the same thing about gender being programmed into us like everything else. So, I put it all together. Gender. So it's got the little cute arrows. Gender to racism to program. How they all go in a circular. So that means if racism is programmed, well then gender is programmed into us. That's what. Blah, blah, blah. So anyway. Yeah, so, I keep trying to get this right. I hated the way the last one came out. I don't feel like I was really myself, and it was kind of dull. Peebo, who is the star? We went over this before we started filming.
Your ass is destructive.
Your tail, why don't you do some dusting with that tail?
He's going after my tampons.
Right here. I know, he likes hiding your tampons. Okay, so, yeah. So I want you all to please forgive me of how bad the last gender video came out. Please forgive me. Oh, you do? Oh, you do? Oh, thank God that you do. Am I like Dora the Explorer or something of how I could hear? Those kids shows like Sprout, Nick Jr., where they have like a God gift where they could hear the person answering them when nobody even really did. They'd be like, can I rub a pineapple on your armpit? I can? Well, thank you. On Dora. So that's what I feel like. I feel like I have that God's gift because I heard you answer me. And to prove it, I want another sign from God. Let's see, can I get another sign? Where would I find one? Let's go. Scoot, scoot! Scoot! Beep, beep, boop, 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 go away! Let's see if we got another sign here. Check the door here.
I'll knock everything over.
Oh, we got a sign! Let's see what one of the lovely neighbors or mailman left me today in the apartment. Get out of the country, you American hating commie. Oh, it's a sign. I knew it. It's a God-given sign. Excuse me, Peebs. Hop on. What? God has left me, it's either that or my disgruntled mailman, that you were, last winter, eyeing up, Brittany. Remember that whole thing during my depression? So, oh my God, but you know what that means? It means that all this time it's true. God does bless America. Because if that's a sign from God and it's saying about how great America is, I'm not allowed to say anything bad about it. Oh my God. Nah. I know how to fix that sign. Woo! And one. And two. All right. Oh, it's a miracle! Okay, I'm turning. Country. Cunt. Country. Much better. I like that. It comes and goes. It's back.
Oh my God.
And now, the video begins. Alright, we're just going to read from the notes. Oh. I'm going to read from the notes, and you're going to like it. Oh, I forgot to show my ideas because this is the launching of my next campaign about eliminating the labels of gender and woman. You know how there's that stupid saying, Brittany, for women's rights? Mm-hmm. I am woman, hear me wrong. Is that how it?
Yep, that sounds good.
Hear me wrong. You cross out, okay, on the shirt, instead of woman, it'll say Hugh, so you cut out woman and you put Hugh, so it's I am human, hear me are, proving the point that you don't need gender. We're all just human. And gender and woman is just the slave title, so there you go. And then you have, so if you ban man, and you cut out woo from Hugh, you got human. There you go, we're all equal human. There you go, people, it's that simple to have equal rights. You tripping too?
Yeah.
So that's going to be the next shirt in the launching of this campaign. And now, I shall prove it! Here we go. No, that's part 8. Oh man, you know, didn't I say I was supposed to be prepared this time? And I never am. Okay. Okay, here we go. You ready? Mm-hmm. And I read. Don't get so close. I'm kidding. I need you close. Actually, you're gonna be my guinea pig, Brittany, for this video. I'm gonna need your body for this video. Okay. If racism is programmed into someone by a parent, right? From birth, people who are racist program their kids to hate. And then when it's all made up. Okay? So, then that proves everything else, including the concept of gender. Yes, it is a concept from the mind of a mammal. See, a human is just a mammal, not a god. Could be flawed. Just a mammal, so that means he could be wrong. So that means And okay, so what else? So racism, what does racism do? It triggers an emotion, right? When people hate something, don't they have emotion about like, oh, I hate him. Oh, I crap my pants. Right? Emotion, right? And anger. You can't, okay, so how can, oh my God, how can I not read my own handwriting? That's what I should say. No, how could you get an emotion or passion to hate something if you never heard about it or were told about it by a parent to make you that way, or society, correct? So that means it's programmed into us, which means the emotions are programmed into us too, which shows, just like I'm saying 100 times, our brain is just a clean slate where it just gets programmed like a computer. Our brain is just a computer then, and we only know what's put into us. So that means gender could just be made up and put into us. That's what I'm proving here. You can't argue that it's a man concept that you're just used to. So here we go. Passion, which is also programmed into us. How can you get so passionate to feel something if someone didn't show you it? The hate. Proving again, we're just walking computers, absorbing man-made up info, like gender. No natural thoughts from nature. See, gender is actually an unnatural thing because man made it up. See, nature would be if we came from the woods, right? Would you know that you're a girl or a boy or anything? Or who's black or who, all these labels? Would you have heard of these labels? Brittany, I'm asking you.
No.
Thank you. Exactly. If we just came from the woods, we've never heard of that, correct? Society made it up and told us. It's just like that saying where the one or who says it, the Eskimo, or what is it, where they're like, why did you, okay, they said, or how does it go? If you never told me there was a God in the first place, I wouldn't have ever had to worry about being in fear or having to be, or, you know, did you ever hear that old saying?
Yeah.
It's like, well, then why did you tell me about God in the first place? Get it?
Yeah.
People have to tell somebody about something or they could never have heard of it. It's the same thing with gender. We didn't have to make up that separation. That's my whole point. Listen up. This is good stuff. Okay. No, damn it. I'm prepared this time. Okay, from nature. Okay. Only society's man-made concepts. So gender too triggers emotion. So people have programmed passion to fight for gender equality. Get it? Do you get what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So people get excited. They're like, oh, I want to fight for this cause. I want to fight for women. How could you fight for women and or if you've never heard of women or if nobody made that up in the first place? Get it? So if we didn't create that to separate people and just said, oh, no, you're a human, and we didn't do that, women wouldn't have to be in the bottom or African or anything to fight from the top in the first place to have to get equality because you would have already been equal in the first place if you didn't accept the stupid slave title that man gave you. Does that make sense, Brittany?
Yeah.
I feel like people misinterpret what I say, like any way to be a jerk. You know what do you think it's pretty simple?
Yeah, it's pretty
What
simple.
am I getting at? Okay, let me keep going. That's how we'll know. Okay. Okay. So, people have passion to fight for gender equality and woman. Concepts put in you to believe. Think of woman and races as an identity forced on them. Think of it as a business built to fail. Like, okay, say man, okay, like man, and then there's woman. You know how, like, it said that woman is the weaker sex and woman is under man, that's why they're woman? That whole bullshit, right? Okay, so think of man, okay, think of a person having a business and then giving it to you, Brittany. Like, they're giving you a business to control, but they already know it's built to fail and it has no chance of succeeding. Yeah. That's what they did by giving the title woman to women. And given black to African people, the title black. Because, okay, it's an identity given to them. Okay? So let me finish. Okay, so you think of it as a business built to fail, given to them. They accepted the slave identity and tried to build it from the ground up with no credibility. Like man has credibility, woman is under them. They have to build up to be equal to man. Get it? With no credibility, to get the respect, to be equal, to say the older established business, man. Does that make sense? Yeah. But if you never accepted the title woman in the first place, you wouldn't be having a fight to make this business called woman equal. It's a what do you call that when it's a trap? It's like a trick. Yeah. A Ponzi. It's like a trick where they know you're never gonna end. It's gonna take how long for you to get to eat, you know, and you'll never really be equal because you'll always be woman. So I'm not saying, oh yeah, don't be a woman or this and that. I'm not saying, like, look at me. I love to be very feminine in my dress and how I look and everything, but that does not have to mean all that stuff is labeled to woman. That's what I'm getting at. I'm not saying to change how you look or anything. I'm just saying you wouldn't be woman. You're a human. Is that good enough for people, Brittany?
Yeah.
Or is that confusing?
Not confusing.
I just want to make sure we get all this right. Okay? So, knowing this would take a forever battle for women and blacks to catch up, but if woman and African black man didn't accept the slave business title in the first place and just claimed to be the same thing, it would have ruined the attempt at the white man to create you to be inferior. To be, for the black man, the slave, the inferior woman, slave in the kitchen. Same thing, inferior. Woman, right? They would never have had to fight to be equal to man and fight to get out of the kitchen and to be paid more and all the discriminations, right? If they're not women. So, women, what I'm pretty much getting is that women have been scammed in Africa by taking that title. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know, like, why people look at me like I'm crazy. It's that simple. So anyway, women and black people should denounce the gender and different race, and also gay people. Term gay, because that just alienates you, like I said 100 times in all my videos. Titles, thus freeing themselves, ending the no-win rigged rights game. That's what it is. You're fighting for your rights, but it's a rigged game. Because you've already been set so far back by accepting the label. Because a human, as a child, knows no traits. Girls and boys, when little, are the same. Is it not true, Brittany? Mm-hmm. Think about it. Did you ever see little boys and little girls and they both look the same when they're young, like 3, 4, 5, 6 years? They all both look, but little boys look very, feminine, very youth. You know how that you can't tell they're very, before guys go through puberty and get all hot, like, you could say that a girl is really just a woman who evolved differently and didn't go through puberty. And you could say a girl is a boy who didn't go through puberty, and that's why the skin is. There's really no because look at a young boy before he turns into a teenager. Does he not look youthful just like a girl? Yeah. Do you get what I'm getting at? Yeah. So you don't have to separate genders by saying, oh, this is under us, this is a woman. You could say many things. It's just another way of evolving, you could say. I know I said this in the last video, I'm just reviewing. Okay, I'm just bringing up other points mixed in with stuff I've already said, so forgive me, but I know you will. So girls and boys when little are pretty much the same. They don't have that where they're brainwashed to think they have to act separately. You know how Brittany, did you ever be around a little girl? Yeah. Like a niece or something, where they're rambunctious and they're not afraid to say anything, they're not shy, and they'll play in mud. They'll do anything a boy does. They'll play with, there is no like boundaries. Like, oh no, I'm a girl. I can't get dirty, or I only like dolls. All that all that shit's brainwashed into them later on. They say all that stuff like how girls become like, oh, like, I don't play with mud, or I only like this, or. Yep. Or girls are smarter than boys, or and there's that whole bullshit where they say like, oh, girls' brain, they mature quicker. No, it's just that they're programmed to become more, girls are literally at a young age programmed to be more focused on their studies and everything and become more serious, while boys are taught to just lose some of their sensitivity and they get to keep their whole fun thing. So then it looks like boys and girls are different, but it's all on how our parents and society warp our brains to make us seem different when we're really the exact same one brain. Does all that make sense? Yeah. Is that a good point or no? Yeah, it is. People don't realize that boys and girls don't act differently because they're a different thing. They act differently because our society sets them to do different things and they obey. Like, we train them differently like dogs. Like, oh, you do this at a certain age. You, like, we warp them. But a girl can act like a girl and a boy, woo, can do anything. Woo! I'm actually thinking about getting one of those drinks. It's fucking hot in here. Might just be you, mama. So anyway, okay. But all this makes sense, right? As a point that we program and create the gender. It is not natural for a girl or a boy to act that way. They get set that way, thinking, So, okay. So I said all that. Yeah, like boys are literally like desensitized. Like they're told to, they're trained to man up, and girls are taught to be more like clean and pretty for the man. That's how society really is to this. You know, that's how. And they're assigned by adults who are also trained and brainwashed by their parents. It's a never-ending cycle. So I'm just pretty much reviewing here. Look at kids when young. They have all the traits. They're both sensitive and afraid to show, or they're not afraid to show emotions of crying. But then boys are changed and they're more manned up. But and just like racism is handed down, so is gender. And if you're a gay man, you're not. You're a human who likes another human. The titles are just man-made up. The fact is just humans like other humans, and our thoughts are all handed down to us, not natural from, say, the woods. Like I said before, none of this stuff is natural. This is all man programming. The only way that you could prove me wrong by saying that this would all be natural, like that girl is actually real and boy is actually real, would be if there was no exceptions. Who didn't get, like, there wouldn't be exceptions like me who didn't get programmed. What I'm pretty much saying is girls would only act one way. There'd only be one type of girl. There wouldn't be tomboys. There wouldn't be different kind of people if that was the case, because their brain, being a girl brain, wouldn't be able to tap into that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They'd be like a robot. They'd be one way. But showing that people could be so many different ways, it proves that it's all just programmed. And we just take in monkey see, monkey do. We follow society. We follow, like kids follow adults and just copy them. So we pretty much tampered with the brain playing God, so gender is actually unnatural, like I was saying in the last video. Let me give you an example about how we're trained. Just like we train dogs and cats, we train humans. We play God. Think about it. Okay, Brittany, with a cat, right? Don't they do certain things that every cat does that's just natural? Yeah. Like cookie cutter. They all clean themselves, right? That's a cat trait. That's unnatural. Nobody told them to clean themselves, right? They do it by nature. Yeah. That would be an example of that's an example of an actual nature trait. Humans don't have any of that. Humans do everything they see another human do, they were told to act that way for hundreds of years. So it's all programmed and passed down. So there's your proof on how humans don't have those natural traits like that. Well, they do, but not in the sense of being a person. See, a cat cleaning itself. No one showed it or trained it, but since there's varieties in people not acting like they're assigned gender, then there can't be gender. They would act as one, right out of the womb. They would just be girl, that's it. Not shown. So it's just a body labeled. Let me give you an example that's kind of gross. No. Well, no, not like, but I mean, okay, you know, people, there is no girl brain or boy brain. It's literally just a brain, and it's how you teach it to be. Say you took a girl and a boy, Brittany, right? And you removed their brains. Would they still be a girl or a boy? Because now the brain is not in a girl body or a boy body. Say you took a brain and you put it inside a robot. Not that I want to go gross or anything, but I'm just using an example. So then what would it be then? You took it from the body, that everything of how we separate gender. Like, would it still be whatever? How would that work then? Yeah. Because now it's just a brain without any. Now they're on the same playing field as they're exactly equal. My point is, if you took two brains out of the bodies, and then you switched them, that wouldn't change a thing, because it's only on how they get taught or programmed. A brain, when it's born, does not know it's a girl to act like a girl. All these things are man-made. People made up how girls act. Mainly for years of people repressing women, making them sex objects for men to be all pretty and all that stuff. Not that I don't like. I dress very pretty and I love makeup and all that stuff. But I'm just saying that all that you could say was what, man? Yeah. Created, put in the mind where they have to look that way. So it's all programmed. That's all I'm saying. Is that not a good point? Yeah. So that, I know I said a lot of this before, but I'm just trying to use all the examples and put it together. So pretty much my last thing is that a scientist is a human. So people say, well, how could science be wrong? They say man and woman. Well, a scientist is not a human, right, Brittany? Yeah. Are they just a person who could be wrong or flawed, or don't they just have an opinion? Yeah. So a scientist is a person, and they could study how everything in the body works, learn how everything works, but they still have to label everything, so that's where the opinion comes in. Right? Yep. They see the differences, and then they decide with their opinion. Like a vagina. you don't mind me using you as the guinea pig, huh, Brittany? Like a vagina. Like a vagina here, folks, as the example here. See, the vagina, you could say, sorry, no, the vagina, you could say, is just what, Brittany? Is it not an inside penis?
Yeah.
So couldn't a scientist just said that there's not gender, it's just that that's the penis on the inside, and you evolve differently like a belly button.
Yeah.
There's an innie and outie belly button, right?
Yep.
Ebo. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
He's like the creeper in the background.
So what was I getting at? So Brittany, some guys might ask for your autograph, but I ask for your John Hancock crotch, Hancock. Wait, see, I could say that you have an inside cock. So that's your inside cock. Now, you have permission to, grab my outside cock, or my outside vagina, because that's all. It's the outside vagina. No?
No.
Maybe when the camera's off, right?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No. So, this is all clear, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, what am I getting at? You could label it inside penis. Brittany, you now have permission to grab my outside penis. I actually wrote that in. Well, does that make me dirty? Actually, no. So, in conclusion, sexism, racism, hate, gender war would all die if we eliminated the terms and denounced them, and the people now who would hate or believe, or the people who hate and are racist or believe in gender and all that shit and think women are under men, all them people would eventually die off in 50 years if we stopped passing it down to their kids, and they would just die off, and then we would just have equal humans. And hey, if you want to look good, if you want to look as good as I do like this, then you can, but you don't have to be a woman about it. So that's how gender is bullshit. And probably forgot a bunch of stuff, but that's why we do part 7,936 of this goddamn stuff. So, okay, that's it. Woo! You can turn it off. I'm coming for it.